Welcome back to Milanware KB. In this video, we will convert a Hyper-V VM to VMware 5.0 IVM using VMware Standalone Converter 5.0. So let's get started. So I have the Hyper-V VM already created on this particular Hyper-V server. As you can see here, it's called V2V Hyper-V test. Now when you're using the VMware vCenter standalone converter for you converting a Hyper-V VM, please make sure that the VM is in the off state. It doesn't allow live migration of VM from Hyper-V server. If you want to convert the VM directly, then you have to use the powered on machine option. So right click on the standalone converter, run as administrator, connect to a local server. Make sure that that you are logged on in the tool with the administrator privileges. If not, it will not be able to connect to the Hyper-V server. So log on to the server, click on the convert machine option. So when you select the server's source type, if you want to do an online migration, then you have to select the powered on machine. But in this case, we are connecting to the Hyper-V server, and you need to specify the IP address and the credentials. So provide the administrator credentials. And you can see in the inventory that it has already detected two VMs which are powered off. You can see here on the Hyper-V server that there are two VMs, and the tool has detected those two VMs. So we are going to convert this VM V2V Hyper-V test. So let's click on the source details. There you go. So it has found the information about the Hyper-V VM, and it has just got one partition. So let's proceed with the conversion. Click on next. Specify the VMware ESX5.I server IP address, the root credentials, next. There you go. So let's call this as Hyper-V test 2. Click on next. Select the data store. I've already created a P2V data store on ESX5.0i. Virtual machine version by default, if you're converting a VM to version 5, the option is version 8. So there's not enough space on the on my data store. I'm going to adjust that space. So click on edit, and select the size, and I'm going to specify the minimum size. You can also edit your services if you want to stop any services. You can edit the networks. It's going to connect at power on to the network. So we're going to leave the default. Click on next. Gives you a summary screen. The source type, as you can see, is a Hyper-V. The virtual machine name, and storage. So it's going to use volume based cloning, and click on finish. So it's running this specific job, and the task progress, it shows you the status, the start time, the estimated time. It's also going to show you the transfer rate, and in the log highlights tab you can see it has started cloning the volume, and it's going to start the conversion on the virtual machine. And on the ESX host, so this is my ESXi 5.0, you can see that the VM is already created, and now it's going to copy the data. So once the conversion is completed, we can just power on the VM and then verify that it was successfully completed. So there you go, it shows you the transfer rate, the estimated time remaining, the percentage, and as you can see it's almost getting completed, 96%. So it shows the the transfer rate. Just give it a couple of minutes, almost there. So finally it has completed the migration. As you can see, it has taken almost, it shows you the running time, the transfer rate, and just log on to the ESX50 server and you can see. So let's power on the VM. Make sure that you also install VMware tools and also edit the network settings. Try to keep a VMX Net 3 adapter. So you can see that it's booting up. Make sure that we are able to log on to the server. So let's log on onto the server. Make sure that so there you go. So you see the host name, it was Windows 2008 R2 standard, and that brings an end to the Hyper-V conversion to VMware ESX 5.0i VM, and thank you for watching this video.